If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out. Officer Brandon Tatum done lost his mind. Officer Brandon Tatum done sat up here and said that Nolan Wells' family should not have used a white church to have his funeral if Mississippi is so racist. And then he goes on to show the leadership of the church, the prayer groups of the church, and all the white people that run the church. And he's mad. He's upset that they went and had Nolan Wells' funeral at a all-white church. Now, the cold-blooded part about all this is that Brandon Tatum must don't understand what Christianity means. Followers of Christ, believing in Jesus, turn the other cheek, treat people how you want to be treated. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, look, this dude right here done lost his mind. He's crazy, and then he continuously bring up race. Look, ain't nobody said that them white boys was racist. What people are saying is that, listen, Mississippi has a criminal history that no one can deny. We cannot sit up here and put blinders on and act like we don't understand the criminal history of Mississippi. And the reason why that is important is just like any other thing that somebody do that is important. If you do something wrong, if you catch a felony right now today and you get out 9 years later, you know what? You still gonna have that felony on your record. And when you go try to get a job or if you catch another case or something like that, they're gonna go back and look at your criminal history and see, okay, this guy's a problem. So you want black people to put blinders on, Officer Brandon Tatum. You want us to put blinders on and say, hey, look, you know what? Forget what they did back in their past. You know, we're not going to judge them by their criminal history. We're not going to look at their criminal history. We're just going to forget all of that. And that would be stupid. That would be ignorant. But I want y'all to hear what this brother got to say. I mean, this right here is insane. Here go Brandon Tatum. Check it out.
That's why I can't stand these people. White people are so racist in Mississippi. Remember, we know the history of Mississippi. Emmett Till. Then why y'all go to a white church to do his funeral? All white. And the only black person in there married to a white woman. What are we saying here? Now, go back a third time in case people didn't see it. Show the church and the leadership. Roll down and think. White people. White. Come on, go back up. Let me see their positions. Go back up. Lead and founding pastors. Boom. Who is that? Executive pastor. White. Women's pastor. White. Who's that? Student pastor. Black with a white woman. Go down. Creative director, white. Is that children's pastor? White. Worship leaders, worship pastors, white. Who it is? Pastor care and senior adult ministry, white. What are we doing?
This right here is crazy. This man right here, Brandon Tatum, took the time out his day to dig up and look and see where did Nolan Wells have his funeral and who was the leadership of the funeral. And as soon as he found out that it was a white leadership in a predominantly white church, or as far as in the leadership roles, he tried to blast the family. He tried to blast Al Sharpton and Benjamin Crump for having his funeral at a white church. Look, that right there alone, the fact that Al Sharpton is plugged, Benjamin Crump is plugged, the fact that Nolan Wells' mother and father allowed his funeral to be held at a white church. That alone should tell you that they ain't thinking about no race thing. That they are not being racist in this whole demonstration. But Brandon Tatum, you are. Because you the one that went looking to see, hey, what church is it? Yeah, let's see what church they went at. Oh, it's an all-white church? Oh, yeah, no, we got them. You see, you the one did that. The fact that they allowed that boy to have his funeral service there, and the fact that an all-white church allowed him, a black boy, and a black family, to have their funeral at an all-white church, it should tell you about the leadership of that church. But no, Brandon Tatum, no, you ain't looking at it like that. You race bait 'em Tatum. You understand? All you want to do is just champion your narrative. That's all you want to do. And your narrative, not nobody else. Your narrative is that, hey, they're bringing race into it. When? When has the family of Nolan Wells say, hey, check this out, man. These white boys these white racist white boys that are connected to the Ku Klux Klans done killed my black son. They never said that. But you keep bringing up the race card. You even brought it up concerning the boy's funeral. Not just once, but twice. Listen, he goes out here on his platform and says that, hey, look, check it out. Nolan Wells' friends, his white friends, wasn't able to go to the funeral because of death threats and all this old type of stuff. The mother and father is getting death threats too. They went. They even had it at a white church. Even under, scrutiny and death threats and stuff like that. They went. And not only that, from my understanding, the police was everywhere because of those threats that was administered to Nolan Wells' family. Police everywhere. You would be a fool to go to Nolan Wells' funeral and try to do something. So for you saying that, hey, they couldn't go because, they were scared and they had death threats. Other white boys went. Other white men and women went. The leaders of the church, they was there. Yeah, the all-white church, they was there. You see? But Brandon Tatum, he ain't gonna talk about that. Brandon Tatum, he has to feed his audience. And look, as sad as it is, his audience, a mass majority of his, probably 99.9% of his audience is racist. If not racist, they racial. And what I mean by that is that they put white over everything. You understand what I'm saying? And they deal with that black fatigue. We tired of these niggas and all that. Listen, let me tell you something. Brandon Tatum does not have the scrotums to come out and say, hey, look, check this out, man. You know what? I might have been wrong. It was all type of white people at Nolan Wells' funeral. His friends could have went. The police was there. The police would have especially protected them, being that they had threats, the same way they protected Nolan Wells' family. You see? But he ain't gonna come out and say nothing like that because he has a narrative to push. He's the black guy that speaks up for white people. And white people look at him like, this is our token guy. We need to listen to him. We need to clap for him. Because if all black men, women, and children can be like him, we would feel safe. But no, all of us is not like him. As a matter of fact, probably 99.9% of us despise him because he fake, he flawed, and he paid for. He paid for. But now here's Brandon Tatum again talking about, hey, look, the white friends couldn't come and all that. They could have went if they wanted to. They just ain't want to. Check it out.
Nolan Wells' friends should have been able to be there at his funeral. But because they're pushing racism, the boys couldn't even show up out of fear of somebody killing them.
Y'all heard him? Y'all heard Officer Brandon Tatum? They were scared, you know. Somebody was thinking they was gonna get killed and all this. So they should have been able to show. Didn't nobody stop them from going to Nolan Well's funeral? The mother did not exclude them. The mother did not say, hey, look, y'all can't come. As a matter of fact, she still got their pictures posted up on her Facebook. And not only that, though, wait a minute. Officer Tatum, Brandon Tatum, it's an all-white church. It's ran by white people. Nolan Friends is white boys. Why would they be in fear for their life knowing that the church is ran by white people and that the police gonna have a perimeter around the whole church because the mother and father been getting death threats? And the cold-blooded part about that is that they are the victims in this whole thing. But we should put blinders on when it comes to racism. We should not look at the criminal history of Mississippi when they showing us what they do. This man and this woman is a victim. Their son died mysteriously. And people are threatening them, dogging them, talking about what they gonna do to them, to the point where there needs to be a perimeter of police around the church. A church. Yeah, no, but see, not only that though, y'all. Because them boys ain't want to go for whatever reason. They did not want to go. Let me tell you something. If that would have been my friend, as Warren said, his best friend, I'm going. Man, I'm going to support my boy. And I'm finna fight tooth and nail against anybody that's trying to say that I had anything to do with that. I'm talking to the police. I'm talking to the mama, the father, everybody. Hey, man, listen, look, what I need to do. Man, y'all know me, man. Look, come on, man. Look, all of us that was with him, man, let's get together. Let's put something together. Let's do something. Let's prove that these peoples is lying. You understand what I'm saying? Let's show that we love this boy. But they ain't doing that. Instead, they getting lawyers and stuff like that. But white people couldn't come to the funeral, right? Officer Tatum, Brandon Tatum, white people couldn't come to the funeral. Well, what about these guys right here? Check it out. Them white boys right there showed up. No fear in their eyes or nothing. Because Nolan was their homeboy. Yeah, they was cool with Nolan. They didn't have no suspicion or nothing. They wasn't worried about anything. You see what I'm saying? They showed up at a church full of black people. You understand? Them boys didn't care. That's they homie. But his so-called best friends. Now, we ain't gonna show up at the funeral. We gonna get us some lawyers. We gonna turn off our social media sites and things like that. We are going to hide. Y'all see what I'm saying? The best friends are hiding instead of being on the front line. Look, come on now. What y'all gonna do for y'all friend? Sisters and brothers. What you gonna do for your friend if something like that happened to your friend? Is you gonna go and hiding? Or is you gonna defend your honor and defend the person that you is? And whatever adversity that comes. Look, hey, man, look, prove it. Hey, check this out. Look, let's go. We finna go find him. Let's do this. Hey, look, here go my phone. There go the boat right there. What else you want? You want to come in the crib? Come on. I ain't do nothing. Come to the house. Search it. I'm giving y'all authority. You don't need a search warrant. Man, get in there. Search my car. Search my phone. This is my best friend. I wouldn't do that to him. But Nolan's so-called friends, come on now. We can't say that they don't look suspicious. Your friend just mysteriously died like that and don't nobody know what happened to him? Nah, it don't go like that. This is hood educated, not lame related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Peace and love.